Let's face it, we all have a lot to complain about. Maybe it's our partner who just doesn't get it or appreciate us, the crummy job lorded over by an asshole boss, inequality, inequity, politics, the weather, news, wars, not enough money, too many people, no one notices, no one cares, life in general, blah, blah, blah. No matter what your station and circumstances in life, it is not hard to find something to complain about. And if you let yourself fall into that trap, life will almost certainly suck. And it is so unnecessary because you have absolute control over whether your life sucks or not. My partner was telling me about her extended trip to Thailand. She shared how in addition to being a beautiful country, the people are beautiful also. Primarily because so many of them genuinely smile, seemingly all the time. Now, this is a fairly poor country run by a very harsh government, yet everywhere she went, men, women, and children were smiling. Now, how many Americans do we see with the same beatific look as we walk down the streets of some of the richest cities and towns? So what is really going on here? One could argue that the lives of the rural Taiwanese are much simpler than ours and don't experience the stresses of our technologically advanced society. While true, most of us in the developed world don't have the stress of meeting basic survival needs that many in Thailand do. When you think about it, they have plenty to complain about. In fact, much more than most of us. Yet I suspect that most of them don't bother with that pointless exercise. Apparently, they don't allow themselves to become victims of their circumstances. After being a champion complainer most of my life, I realized that all it did was make me and those around me, well, pretty miserable. I even got to the point of complaining about my own complaining, which is pretty pathetic when you think about it. By complaining, I was in effect choosing to be a victim of whatever circumstance that prompted the complaint. Then I finally realized one of the most important lessons. When life hands you something you don't like, either do something about it, or if that's not possible, accept it fully and move on. Complaining is simply not an option for me anymore because it never, ever serves me. Metaphorically speaking, we are never victims unless we choose to be. Complaining is an easy habit to pick up, primarily because so many around us do it, and a hard one to break. And the reason it's hard to break is that there's always a big payoff, which is not being responsible for how we experience life. When we complain, we are essentially saying it is someone or something else's doing that is making us unhappy, which effectively, at least in our own mind, takes us off the hook. Now, the best way to break a habit is to replace it with another, ideally positive one. I have personally found that the habit of expressing gratitude for everything, even the challenges in my life, is a powerful way to eliminate compulsive complaining. Gratitude expands your outlook on life. Complaining contracts it. Gratitude is stress relieving. Complaining, it generates it. Gratitude will attract others to you, while complaining will most certainly drive them away. Now, a good way to undermine the relationship with your significant other is to complain about everything, especially the small things. A wonderful way to bring them closer is express gratitude about everything, even those things that at first appear to be challenges or even tragedies. When you fully feel gratitude for everything, you can't help but smile more. Complaining is one of the surest ways to wipe the smile off your face and that of those around you. If you find that some part or even all of your life sucks, chances are you are looking at it through the lens of complaining. Change your glasses to one that sees everything from a state of gratitude and watch how you and the world around you transforms.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Extraordinary Intimacy with Michael J. Russell. For all speaking, media interviews, and workshop inquiries, go to michaelrusselllive.com. For private intimacy coaching, send an email to coaching@michaelrusselllive.com.